We all love playing racing games, but most of the popular racing franchises, the games like Need for Speed, Forza Horizon series, and the Crew Motorfest, and they all are paid experiences come with a pretty decent price tag. But today's video is all about free-to-play racing games. I spent some time scrolling through the internet to find some of the best free-to-play racing experiences that you can play and try out right now in 2024, and they're all completely free-to-play. You can download them on Steam as well as some games on Epic Games Store. And today's list will include 10 games, and 5 of them are brand new free-to-play games that released within the last few months, alongside some popular fan favorite games plus some bonus honorable mentions. So we got a lot to go through in our today's video, so sit back, relax, and let's get right into it. Before moving on to our today's list, I want to mention a couple of games that I've been recently playing that you can download right now completely free. But remember, these are prologue or demo version of some of these games, but I feel like they're still worth mentioning, starting with the Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. This is a highly anticipated open world racing game and supposed to come out later this year, but you can download the demo version right now completely free on Steam, and I've been having a really fun time playing, and the visuals looks absolutely amazing. And also Night Runners is another game that is really worth checking out right now. It's a 90s style classic racing game representing a lot of the Japanese street racing cars, a lot of customization, and bit of a retro vibe. Remind me of the classic Need for Speed games like Underground 2 and Carbon. Definitely worth checking out. You can download both of these prologue versions completely free on Steam. Alright, moving on at number 10, we got a brand new racing title called Formula Evolution 2024. It's a free-to-play, multiplayer, physics-based, realistic simulation style of a racing game that represents 70 years of evolution of formulas. The game represents 40 plus realistic custom tracks alongside 30 plus different vehicle types, and all them are customizable. The game is actually more of a simulation style of a game rather than an arcade racer. It's heavily depending on the physics, and you have to adapt your racing skill according to the time of the day, different weather types, different tracks and road conditions, which is really cool. And also on top of all that, the game is kind of a multiplayer focused game, and you can play with up to 40 of your friends, which is quite incredible. And the game was actually developed by a single indie developer, so definitely go ahead and check out. It's a really cool game, and it's available on Steam as well as on Epic Games Store. Nightmare Card is another brand new Souls-like racing game that was actually released a couple of days ago onto the Steam, but right now the game is incredibly popular on Steam, having more than 2,500 plus reviews, and they are sitting at overwhelmingly positive. It's a very old school horror themed vehicular combat style of a racing game with fast paced combat and a 90s style classic gothic art style. Right now the game represents 12 different unique vehicles wielding powerful weapons, and you can use them at the right time to reduce your opponent's scrap, and taking them down rise your top speed. It's a very unique style of a racing game that is right now pretty popular on Steam, and you can play the game both single player as well as split screen co-op with another friend, which is another cool feature. And the system requirement wise, the game is very basic. You can even run this game with a very potato system. If you're in for a real immersive simulation style of a drifting game, look no further than Talk Drift 2. If you're someone who really enjoy playing this type of drifting game, you've probably already played the first game. It's a pretty popular game on Steam, completely free to play as well, but this brand new iteration of Talk Drift 2 only exclusive to Epic Games Store as far as I know, and the game is still on early access. In terms of gameplay, it's very similar to the previous game, but very much skill dependent, and in terms of visual, it looks quite stunning, and the game is set in the fictional modern day Japanese city, heavily inspired from the drifting culture. You get access to your own garage so you can customize and upgrade your ride, and you can also meet with other players in the parking lot to show off your modified car to your street rap, and you can also battle it out with 1v1 multiplayer drift battles. Offers you a thrilling multiplayer experience. Definitely a solid game to check out right now, but remember, the system requirements for this game is a little bit high compared to some of the other games on the market, and the game is only available on Epic Games Store as well. Alright, next up we got another quite underrated casual racing game called Night Run. The gameplay loop is very simple but quite addictive. You simply ride your motorcycle at thrilling extreme high speed through this cyberpunk night style of a city, and you simply have to avoid traffic and score point with each vehicle that you pass, and try not to wipe out. An ultimate goal is to beat your own high score. It's a completely single play experience. Right now the game is only exclusive to Epic Games Store, and the game soon to be come out on Steam. So if you're in for a fun and thrilling casual racing experience, this game is highly recommended, and the system requirements are also quite acceptable in 2024. Alright, next up we got an extremely fun racing game that you probably never even heard about before, and that is a game called Razor Loop. Razor Loop is a fast-paced zero-gravity arcade racing game set in the Outer Ring universe, and let's be honest, that concept is extremely cool. Nevertheless, in this game you simply have to join the competition and immerse yourself in this high-speed tournament where you will race through various landscapes throughout the galaxy, and within the game you can customize your ship, integrate upgrades, and acquire new parts to stand out on the track and gain competitive advantage against other players. Definitely a great fun sci-fi racer to try out right now, and the system requirements are also very much acceptable, but remember the game is only available on Epic Games Store. Alright, now we are moving on to some of the popular ones, starting with Asphalt 9 Legends. This is hands down one of the best fast-paced chaotic racing games that you can play right now on PC and also available on Android and iOS. But let me tell you, this game is extremely fun and I used to play this game a lot back in the day. It's just super fun, super arcade, packed with multiplayer and single player game mode with a lot of customization, real life locations and incredible amount of licensed cars. The game is packed with a really awesome single player campaign, over 900 levels and cross-platform multiplayer up to 8 players for thrilling PvP action. Great game to check out right now if you haven't already. The game is available on Steam as well as on Windows Store, and you can simply play this game even if you have a very low-end PC or a laptop. Let's say if you are a fan of arcade racing games and looking for a super cool game to try out with your friends on co-op, look no further than Disney Speedstorm. It's a super fun action-packed combat racing game where you can simply jump in with your favorite Disney or Pixar characters and challenge your friends or other players online for a thrilling multiplayer action. There is a very decent amount of customization that you can do to both your ride and different characters in the game, and if you decide to play the game on co-op, you can play with up to 4 of them on split screen. Makes this game even more fun to play. Alright, next up we got one of the most underrated vehicular combat style of a racing game called Crossout. But I gotta be honest, this is much more of a vehicular combat destruction style of a game rather than a typical racing game, and it's very unique and extremely fun to play. So it's basically a free-to-play post-apocalyptic massively multiplayer action game where you can simply craft your unique battle machine and try to destroy other enemies in explosive PvP battles. And honestly, I haven't really seen a lot of people talking about this game, but there is a massive number of dedicated player numbers who play this game every single day. It's close to like 6,000 daily players. So if you're someone who still haven't tried the game out yet and looking for some unique experience rather than a typical racing game, Crossout is hands down the game for you. And right now the game is having more than 60,000 reviews on Steam and they are mostly positive, and the game is very much playable even if you have a very potato system. When we talk about free-to-play racing franchises, we cannot forget about one of the most popular one coming from Ubisoft, and that is Trackmania. Trackmania is extremely fun free-to-play arcade racer that I would say a little bit more focused on the competitive side, but depending on your playstyle, you can definitely enjoy the game more casually, playing with your friends on co-op, or you can completely enjoy the game single player. Or if you're someone a little bit more competitive, you can definitely focus more on the esports side of this game, and it definitely has a nice balance. It's a little bit of an old game but very recently released on Steam, but the game is very much popular and getting continuous update to this date with brand new seasonal content, new campaigns every 3 months, and tons of tournaments and challenges you can participate in. Definitely a fun game to try out, and also system requirements are very much acceptable. When we're talking about premium free-to-play racing simulation experience on PC, there's only one game that really comes to my mind, and that is the Race Room Racing experience. Nowadays in 2024, this game is considered to be an absolute classic, and over the years with every single update, this game got even better and better, and ultimately nowadays become a very premium free-to-play experience, especially if you're into this type of real-life driving simulation style of games. Definitely one of the best games still, especially being free to play. The game is still getting brand new content, special events, ranked championships basically every single week, and developers are working very hard on the game. That's the main reason why I can still recommend this game as one of the best free to play races. And I would say to get the best out of this game, you definitely need to have some sort of a steering wheel setup or at least a gamepad or a controller. Overall, it's just a great game to try out even in 2024. Definitely playable even if you have a pretty low to mid-range system. Alright, finally before we're wrapping up, I just want to mention a couple of honorable mentions which I haven't really added to our today's list but are still worth mentioning. First one is the Kart Rider Drift, a super fun arcade style of a racer packed with tons of fun casual and competitive game modes. Another game that is worth checking out is Jagged Rivals. It's a fast-paced action racing game where you simply have to destroy and eliminate all of your opponents in this battle royale style of a game mode. Definitely worth checking out in 2024. Well, that's about it for this video guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found some awesome free-to-play racing games to try out in 2024. And if I missed any good free-to-play races, definitely let us know down in the comments section as well. And as always guys, if you enjoyed the content so far, don't forget to go ahead and drop a like on this video, and also stay tuned and subscribe to the channel because we cover tons of free-to-play games like this. I will catch you guys soon in my next video. Stay safe.